Hi guys, it's Quinn here. If you enjoy my videos, consider hitting the like button. It's the only way the YouTube algorithm really notices me. The Positronic Man is a 1992 novel written by Isaac Asimov and Robert Silverberg. The book itself is based off of the 1976 novella, The Bicentennial Man. Now, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to talk about both of these books interchangeably because they both have the same basic narrative and the same major plot points. They both follow an android named Andrew. I actually think that both the novella, The Bicentennial Man, and the novel, The Positronic Man, can be viewed as different tellings of the same events within the Foundation universe. Now, before we get started, if you want to learn more about the Foundation universe, you can find these videos linked in the playlist below. Now, this story is set very early in the Foundation universe. It starts roughly somewhere between 2050 and 2060 and goes on for about 200 years. In this book, we follow an NDR model robot who, over the course of time, slowly begins to behave and appear more human. In this book, Asimov is exploring the themes that he is well known for. What is consciousness? What makes something truly aware, truly alive? Is it the fact that they can think? Is it the fact that they can create art? Is it the fact that they die? At what point can a machine be considered a living individual? At what point must we acknowledge that a machine has rights? Andrew, over the course of this story, strives to become as human as possible, to behave as human as possible, in an attempt to blend into human society. And he has varying degrees of success, but ultimately some people just don't accept him as an individual, as a thinking, conscious being. The robot company actually discontinues the NDR model robots eventually and move towards a more centralized form of robot computing. And this is, of course, an attempt to weed out any individuality. They don't want any more problems like Andrew walking around, demanding rights. What's interesting about this story is that in his quest for humanity, Andrew is exposed to the coldness and the kind of indifference of humanity. But he never lets that deter him. He still undergoes all of these operations in order to have more human-like organs and to appear more human and to feel more human. And eventually this all culminates in a surgery that will allow his positronic brain to decay, basically rendering him mortal. One interesting thing that I find about this is that Andrew does all of this because the human world wouldn't accept him otherwise. So there's a kind of pettiness on the part of humanity that is being exposed here. Because Andrew does not look human, because he does not behave human, because he does not die, then he is not alive, he is not aware. It's a very kind of crab in the bucket mentality. It's kind of like humanity saying, if we can't be immortal, then neither can you. This book is really exploring the nature of being a second-class citizen. Andrew is able to make all of these creations and sell them to people and make millions. People will buy his art, buy his creations, but they will not accept the fact that he is alive. They are unwilling to grant him the rights that they are themselves guaranteed. Asimov was big on this concept of robot rights because from a strictly scientific point of view, the human brain is merely a biological machine. Due to its complexity, consciousness is generated. From strictly a scientific point of view, there is no reason that a sufficiently complex machine couldn't generate that same conscious experience. Asimov understood that with the continuous progression of technology, that it was quite possible that humanity would have to eventually deal with this in the real world. Now, as a Star Trek fan, I couldn't help but think about Data when reading about Andrew. Data in Star Trek The Next Generation is on a similar quest to gain humanity. Generally in Star Trek The Next Generation, people accept that Data is a life form, that he is an individual, though we do encounter some that don't. Pulaski. In the Season 2 episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, The Measure of a Man, Data's very freedom and individuality are questioned when it is challenged whether or not he is an individual or property of the Federation. And the stakes are impossibly high for Data. Commander Bruce Maddox wants to better understand Data's positronic brain, a word which, by the way, Asimov invented. And in doing so, he'll have to basically dismantle Data, and he has no idea whether he can put him back together. Essentially, Bruce Maddox doesn't care whether or not Data dies in the process, because he sees Data as the property of the Federation. Data is put on trial to determine one thing: whether or not he has a soul, whether or not he is truly conscious just like any of us. Captain Picard is tasked with representing Data in the trial, whilst Commander Riker is tasked with representing Maddox. Riker makes the case that Data is no more than wires and mechanical parts. He even demonstrates that Data has an off switch. But Picard speaks to the question of sentience, and how can we measure it at all? How can we determine whether anyone at all has sentience? Furthermore, Picard exposes the fact that Maddox's ultimate goal here is to create more Datas, hundreds, thousands, as Guinan called it, a race of disposable people.
A single Data, and forgive me, Commander, is a curiosity. A wonder even, but thousands of Datas. Isn't that becoming a race?
This is absolutely one of my favorite episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation, and Patrick Stewart gives a fantastic performance in it.
Won't we be judged by how we treat that race? Now tell me, Commander, what is Data? I don't understand.
What is he? A machine. Is he? Are you sure? Yes. You see, he's met 2 of your 3 criteria for sentience, so what if he meets the 3rd? Consciousness in even the smallest degree. What is he then? I don't know. Do you?
Do you?
I definitely think Data from Star Trek The Next Generation was inspired to at least some degree by the Bicentennial Man. It just so happens that Data was created in a time where humanity was a little bit more evolved in the way they saw things. So Data's humanity, quote unquote, was accepted a lot sooner than Andrew's was. Now, Data continues his quest to become more human throughout Star Trek The Next Generation and the Star Trek The Next Generation movies, but this is a pivotal moment. The Bicentennial Man and the Positronic Man are both essential works in Asimov's bibliography when it comes to understanding really what he thought about machine intelligence and machine consciousness, and how the human world might react to it. Asimov in general is obviously extremely influential, not just in the science fiction genre as a whole, but in the way we think about artificial intelligence and androids, period. Now, if you want to read some more Asimov books that explore similar concepts, check out the collection of stories Robot Visions. It includes the Bicentennial Man as well as a bunch of other stories about robots. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more Quinn's ideas. Also, let me know what other sci-fi books you'd like to see me cover in the future. Peace out. So we've got some great news, guys. Quinn's Ideas officially has a Discord. Now my goal is to make this Discord a great place for all science fiction fans to come and talk about science fiction, share their favorite books, share their love of science fiction stories and concepts while having a lot of fun. I'm really excited about this new way to engage with my community and to create more connectivity between my viewers. I hope you will join us over on Discord. Thank you so much. Just a heads up for those of you that may be interested, my next graphic novel, The Lie Behind the Star, is launching February 2023. You can sign up now to get on the email mailing list to get notified as soon as it launches. More information on my website, link in the description. Thank you guys so much.